Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. We are looking at this super awesome all-in red deck. It took Christian Siebold to 6 wins at Pro Tour Shadows over Innistrad, so congrats to Christian on his performance with the deck. Quick reminder, if you enjoy this deck and want to see it in action, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular will get a chance to be made into videos the following week. Anyway, let's break down this super sweet all-in red deck. So this is a Pyromancer Goggles / Chandra Flame Color deck. Those are the ways of winning the game. What makes this deck unique is it's playing 4 copies of Vessel of Volatility, which is basically a ritual effect, which we don't get in Standard very much. So you play it for 2 mana on turn 2, you pay 2 to sack it, and you add 4 red mana, so it's +2 mana, but only for 1 turn. But what this does, it allows the deck to, on turn 3, have enough mana to cast a Pyromancer's Goggles, or on turn 4, cast a Chandra Flamecaller. So pretty much you want to use your Vessel early, and then you take over the game either with Pyromancer's Goggles in conjunction with a ton of sweet red spells, or with Chandra Flamecaller, which is a super powerful threat, especially when you play it early in the game. So assuming you're on the Goggles plan, what are you doing with the Goggles? Well, first off, you get to draw a ton of cards. So Pyromancer's Goggles, of course, doubles any red spell that you cast using the mana it produces. So Magmatic Insight and Tormenting Voice, you have to discard a card when you cast them, but it draws you 4 cards for either 1 or 2 mana, which is as close to Ancestral Recall in Standard as you can get. When you're drawing 4 for 1 or drawing 3, I guess, because you discard 1 for 1 or 2 mana, you can get so far ahead so quickly, and it gets out of control super fast. Apart from drawing cards, the Goggles can also double up on some of these removal spells. So Fiery Impulse, just to kill an early game creature. Lava Axe can kill even a mid-game creature, or most creatures, apart from like Ulamog and really big creatures. And then Kozilek's Return can't be doubled by Goggles. Kozilek's Return is devoid, so it is not technically a red spell to be copied by Goggles, but still, it's a sweeper, great against mono-white humans, decks like that, and it's instant speed, which is really helpful. So this is just a package of removal to keep you alive and protect your Chandras while you can take over the game with Goggles and Chandra. And then the way of actually closing out the game, if you aren't killing someone with Chandra, you are either killing someone with Fiery Temper, a 3 damage burn spell, has Madness, so you can use Lightning Axe and things like that to discard it, cast it even cheaper. But if you double it up with Goggles, you're getting 6 damage, and then Fall of the Titans, the surprising Standard staple, does X damage to each of up to 2 target creatures and or players if you can surge it for red and X. So you can kill your opponent's biggest threat and go to their face, and if you double it off Goggles, you're going to their face twice. So you can potentially just kill someone with Fall of the Titans by dealing 10, 12, 15 damage if you have enough mana for it. So it's really powerful, especially with Goggles. It's like almost like a Wrath that also domes your opponent for a huge amount of damage. So that's the idea of the deck. You play the Vessel, use it to get a Chandra or Goggles quickly, and then take over the game with Goggles combined with these red spells, and then use Chandra and Fiery Temper to actually finish off the opponent. Mana base wise, Drownir Temple, Foundry of Consuls, Shivan Reef, Mountain. Looks kind of weird, right? That's a lot of colorless lands for a deck that has a lot of red spells. Well, my favorite part of this deck is the sideboard. It's actually a transformational sideboard into a mono red Eldrazi deck. So as you notice, no creatures in the main deck. So your opponent sees this, you're like, man, Goggles, Chandra, Vessel, I gotta get my creature removal out of here, it's all dead spells. And then they take out all their creature removal, you bring in this Eldrazi package, Eldrazi Obligator, Thought-Knot Seer, Reality Smasher. They don't have any removal, and Thought-Knot Seer and Reality Smasher especially close out the game super fast when your opponent doesn't have any removal. So you can just straight up switch into a different deck, a mono red Eldrazi deck, based off your sideboard. Last sideboard card, 3 copies of Rending Volley, just to kill some white or blue creatures in an uncounterable way. Anyway, that's all in red for Standard. I hope you enjoyed the Instant Deck Tech. As I mentioned before, click the like button, subscribe button, leave a comment, support your deck if you want to see it made into videos. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.